Welcome to the Rated Rabbi Sports Card Podcast, where sports cards and pop culture meet the 1984 All-Star Game. I'm your host, Rabbi David Spinrad. Welcome to episode 32. Enough is enough. This is actually the first episode I've released since July 14th, and I will not drop another one until August 21st because I am between vacations. Kind of a scheduling quirk. Things kind of fell a certain way at work this year, so I took a vacation, came back to work for a week, and going away again. First vacation was a good one. We took our son down to sports camp in Asheville, spent some time with friends there, then rented this awesome little cabin, just the two of us, me and Mrs. Rated Rabbi, 4 nights at a little cabin in the North Georgia woods called the Sweet Retreat, and it was awesome. Front porch, upstairs porch, downstairs porch, hot tub, and just went from chilling here to chilling there to reading to relaxing to talking to praying to laughing to eating to loving. Just an awesome, phenomenal 4 nights together. Then we headed on down to Atlanta for a couple of days. She stayed on. I flew to Chicago to be with you. Friends who went to the National this year in Chicago. It was awesome. It was incredible. It was super smooth, well organized. Wi-Fi was strong. Vibe was great. I had an amazing time. But you know what made it amazing for me? When I was back at that sweet retreat, I had some time to reflect and to think about my collection, to think about how and why I collect. And I really started asking myself and listening for the answer to the question of, what's enough? How much is enough? And since I really do believe that in the end, what we do collect is ourselves, when I ask the question of how much is enough when it comes to my cards, I'm also asking how much is enough when it comes to me. And the truth is, I am and you are, we are all enough as we are. Nothing's missing. There is no lack. We just tell ourselves that we're enough or our collections aren't enough. But that's in our minds. So I really spent some time just thinking about the cards I have and appreciating what I have and anchoring myself in that appreciation. And from that point of view, kind of looking out and also really enjoying the sense of anticipation, feeling eagerness about what might be coming next. But I don't want to be a collector, let alone a human being, where I make my sense of satisfaction contingent upon anything that's outside and beyond me, right? Satisfied with where I am and eager in anticipation for what comes next. And I brought that vibe with me to Chicago. Spent 4 days at the National. This is not a national recap. Those have already been done by all those wacky content creators. That's not me. That's not my vibe. It was a great show. If you want video detail, Go look them up. They're all over YouTube. They're all over Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I went to Chicago. I was looking for a couple of cards. As you know, I've been looking for that 1952 Topps Maze now for, I don't know, 10 months. And I've really come to the conclusion that I have 3 paths. Path number 1, raise my budget and lower my expectation. I guess that's just one path. Raise my budget or lower my expectations is the first path, right? I can either spend more or accept less. And the other path is I can just lay off that card altogether. After all, I already have the 51 Bowman Maze. It's in a PSA 2.5, and I love it. I think it's a beautiful example. No print lines, good color, makes me happy. At 52, it's amazing, but if I really want fewer cards and really have a curated collection, maybe I move off it. Maybe I look at some other cards, I mean, maybe I take that money and I continue to build on what I've saved, and I get something big. I get a card that I've only really, imagined having a card. I've seen in books since I was a kid. The 1939 Gaudi Babe Ruth card number 149 of the Babe. It's the red one. I love all four of those 33 Gaudis, but man, that 33 red Gaudi is like that's a that's a piece of art. Actually, that's a piece of art to me. So I'm just rethinking what I'm doing, wanting fewer cards. In fact, I want to put 90 to 95% of the money I spend on cards into 5% of the cards I collect and have the rest of the cards I have, the other 95% of my cards, if I choose to, uh, you know, be worth about 5% of my total collection to keep those low end mail days coming in, have some fun, cheap things to collect, say from the 1980s. But I don't want a lot of cards. I just want a handful of beautiful ones. And then that's where I am at today. Feeling real satisfied with what I have, and I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. Saw some good 52 Topps mazes there. I was looking for that. I was looking for a 93 Topps Finest Refractor Barry Bonds. 93, man. Before Bonds was juicing, it was just pure back then. Just came over. Had a monster MVP season. Of course, Topps Finest Refractor. That's the first year of Finest and the first year of Refractors. Didn't see any Bonds. Just only saw a few Finest at all on the floor. But that's a worthwhile card to add. Of course, I kept my eyes out for supernovas and Nick Bosa's. Didn't find any supernovas that would work for my collection. Found a few Bosa's, but the truth is that the vast majority of dealers, and unfortunately, I think that the vast majority of a lot of modern, ultra modern collectors really lack creativity. If your name's not Burrow or Herbert or Mahomes, good luck. And I just kept seeing the same cards, different versions of again and again and again and again. And after a while, you just get like numb to the cards. You don't even see them anymore. And I guess if I'm being honest, I get also kind of numb when it comes to vintage, right? And you just see like table after table, case after case, dealer after dealer with the same cards, and just the quantity of it. It was just, it kind of, after a while, made me feel a little bit nauseous. It's like, enough, the consumption. Like, oh my God, how much? So I was low key. I only picked up a few very, very small things, which I'm going to show to you in a minute. And, and I'll be honest, maybe it was part because of that clarity I had in the mountains about just being delighted with what I have. Maybe that was a part of it. Maybe it was getting real clear about what I really want. And I also have to be honest, I think perhaps that my desire for the cards was a little bit blunted by a couple of cards that I acquired just prior to the National. And while I was at the National, I became aware of a really big item that I've been looking for a really long time, well over a year. I haven't seen it, and it finally popped from one of the auction houses, and so it made it very easy to hold on to my money. I kind of feel like a doofus though. Like, I went to the National, people are showing like banger cards, spending like big all-time grails and just incredible once in a lifetimes. And that didn't happen for me, but I do want to show you the pickups I got just before the National. There are two of them. The first one I've been looking for over a year. It is I'm going to hold it up to the camera, a 1999 Garrison Hearst PMG, numbered out of 50. Let me show you the back. This is serial number 15. This is like the card you think you'd find at National, but if you're, you might find the Rice or the Young, but you're not going to find Garrison Hearst more than likely. It's not going to be in a display case. But really one of my very favorite Niners, not a card that comes up very often. In fact, this is the first time I've ever seen this card. And about a week before the National, I saw it come up on eBay. I sent the guy an offer and he accepted. I love the gold foil, right? I mean, the granddaddy is, of course, the 1997. Hearst is not in that set. 98 he is. That's a cool card. I've still never seen it. 99, the third and final year of the original run. I am super, super, super happy to add this 1999 Garrison Hearst PMG Gold. You know, it's funny. I wasn't a 90s collector, and I know like that second half of the 90s has some of the most powerful, powerful nostalgia, but it's not my nostalgia. Incredible, incredible creativity, but I didn't collect those cards when they went through, and the man and the nostalgia is once removed. There, it's not my nostalgia. I feel like I'm trying to take somebody else's memory and their experience, but I do think they have a very special place in the hobby and a chance to get a semi-star, right, in the set. But someone I really loved Garrison Hearst as a ball player, and so I'm real happy to get that one. Second one, man, if you'd have told me when I got back into collecting that I would have a 1986 Jerry Rice rookie in a PSA 9, I would have told you forget about it. You know, it's really funny. I threw in a bid on this one in an auction house, and I never expected it to be the winning bid, and it was, and it is. And I am the proud owner of a 1986 Topps Jerry Rice PSA 9. Super, super cool. Take one more good look at that one. 86 Jerry Rice. Having a PSA 4 that was my buddy Uncle Matsy's, that it was raw. His wife gave it to him. Aunt Betty, after she passed, gave it to me, and I sent it into PSA. It came back a 4, but it's a Jerry Rice PSA 9 rookie card. Couldn't help myself. All right, what did I get at the National? Admitted, right? That may be my powerful desire. I'm not like Mr. Enlightened. Maybe the reality is that I'm a little bit blunted by picking up that Hearst and that Rice rookie. But I did pick up a couple of super tiny low-end things. First thing, 1985. Perhaps you've heard of the Prism Jewel sticker series. They're most famous for the NBA ones, the Jordan one. It's a 20-something card set. And they were when, you're at your mom at the grocery store and you're on the way out, and it wasn't a gumball machine you turned. It was a kind where you put the quarters in flat, you push it in and you pull it out, and out would come this cardboard sleeve. Actually, it looks just like this white rectangular sleeve, right? Remember these? And they'd have a sticker in them. The Jordan one is worth a fortune. A fortune. I don't swim in those kind of waters, but I did pick up something that PSA has never graded. I think they're super duper cool. Also 85 Prism Jewel. I went a little non-sports. First one I'm going to show you. Check this one out. If he dies, he dies. This is 1985 Rocky 4. Look at that Prism Jewels action. If you know the basketball, now you know the stickers. Rocky 4. I mean, come on. I love this. Guarantee you this is the only one at the show. I saw all the tables. This is just kind of this thing you never see. Delighted to add this sticker to my collection. I thought it'd be fun to do a little Rocky at some point on the podcast. Rocky 4, where he fights and ultimately defeats Drago and saves Western civilization from the Red Menace. The other one is amazing. Check this one out. Also, 1985 Prism Jewel. Check out this bad boy. Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA. Look at that sticker. Prism Jewel action. He's got the flag behind him, the headband, the guitar. Absolutely extraordinary. 1985 Prism Jewel. Picked up a Stallone Rocky 4 and a Springsteen, born in the USA. Oh, man. One more pickup. Like, really? You're showing me this? Yeah, check this out. I spent $10 on this Barry Bonds bat relic with a game-used bat. The reason I got this one is from 2002 Fleer. Game-used Barry Bonds bat relic. And what it is commemorating this day in history, it commemorates Barry Bonds hitting his 71st home run and passing Mark McGwire. Cool enough, game used. Cool enough, it remembers that Friday night when Bonds past McGuire. But really what makes it extra cool is the date when Bonds broke that record is October 5th, which was my mom's birthday. So for $10, bat relic, home run record, and my mama's birthday was too amazing to pass up, man. What a fun time. I mostly just kind of spent time cruising around the show, talking a little bit to people. I was more introverted than I expected I would be. I'm usually a pretty extroverted guy, but it was just so enormous. I just, you know, my vibe the whole time was like wherever I am is the place to be. No FOMO. I'm not missing out on anything. Whatever I saw, I saw. Whoever I was with, I was with. It was awesome. It was really fun. A couple people I got to spend time with. I got to see Iowa Dave. Iowa Dave of the Shallow End podcast fame, part of that Wolfpack network. Really good guy. Mazel to you, Dave, on picking up the 34 Gaudi. It was really cool to meet you, get to know you a little bit. And I also got to spend really incredible time with Matt, 1956 Tops guy. We've messaged a ton. It was cool. Like, here's this guy, we've never met in person before right away, but it felt like, just kinship. And, Matt pulled off the most incredible trade. I believe 16 cards. And I don't mean like, doubles of a third year Jose Canseco. I mean things like 41 DiMaggios and 33 Gaudi Ruths and Cobbs, big boys. And Matt ended up pulling a 16-for-1 trade to acquire a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. And even though I heard him talk about the trade, like when I had him, I'm like, all right, Matt, I got to hear the whole story because it's such an incredible story how he just traded up as high as really you can reasonably expect to ever go. And I mean, he gave up a lot of gold for platinum. So after I cornered him and made him retell me the whole trade story, I just can't get enough of it. And then we actually just found a spot against the wall and sat down and talked cards. We talked why we collect, and it was just super fun to go deep with a new friend. And then I asked if I could, pull out my cards. I brought some cards for trading, and I asked him just for some advice. Like, what would you do if you had my cards? Which cards would you try to use to trade up? And he gave me some really wonderful feedback. And even though he's not a dealer, he's a really sophisticated trader and card collector, and was very generous and gave me some reflections and learned a lot. Really great hanging out with you, Matt. And I hope to do so again in the future. All right. Let me tell you about another highlight. I'm really not an autograph guy. I have a couple here and there, like the random Dwayne Kuiper on card that I got when I was 15 years old. This and that, a Jack Tatum on an index card, random things like that. But in 2010, the Shark and I went to Jerry Rice's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Truly one of the great classes in NFL history because not only did it have Jerry Rice, the all-time leading receiver, also included Emmitt Smith, the all-time leading rusher. The Hall of Fame that day was full of Niners and Cowboys fans. We had such a good time, like thousands of grown men wearing football jerseys like little kids. Super fun. And I always held on to that ticket stub. So when I got back into collecting, I was looking through my random artifacts, and in a program I still had the ticket stub. Like, wouldn't that be cool to get that autograph? So a few months ago at the Chantilly show, Emmitt Smith was signing. I couldn't stay, but the folks from TriStar could not have been nicer. They made it easy for me to get Emmitt Smith's autograph. And then when TriStar released the autograph guests for this year's show, Jerry Rice was on the docket. And it was one of those, usually I take my time, but when that came out, I jumped on that email right away the first day it came, and I bought a ticket for Jerry Rice's autograph. This is just not me, but this felt worth it. The Hall of Fame induction was one of the great days of my life. So I went to the National, had the beautiful Emmitt Smith autograph, and I got Jerry Rice's autograph. So I want to bring it up. I want to show you the autograph. There's Emmitt Smith on the left side, and they were great. They're like, you see how they signed it so it's out of the way and doesn't cloud the 2010 enshrinement ceremony. And there on the right is Jerry Rice's. And if you're listening, you can't see it, but Jerry signed the J in Jerry in such a way that it goes around the word ceremony. And he just filled up the blank space beautifully just above his head. It is just both the autographs, Emmitt Smith 22, Jerry Rice number 80, both of the all-time greatest rusher and receiver on a single ticket. I was there with the Shark, one of the great days. I'm talking like right up there at the birth of my children, great days of my life. And right up there with my wedding day, of course. One of the great days. And so I'm fourth in line. My ticket number is 4 after the premium people and all those people, like kind of the schlub line. I'm number 4. And I'm sure everyone, you think like, what are you going to say when you go up there? And I'm not a big star guy, but this is Jerry Rice. And so I walk up and they're very nice. Where do you want to sign? What color? Very helpful. And as Jerry's looking down and signing, I say, Jerry, I learned my work ethic from my father, but you were second. And I said, I was there with my brother at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony in 2010. And what I'll always remember is you telling the crowd how you were always so busy working so hard, driving yourself, going for it, just trying to get better, to always remain the best, that you never took time to appreciate your accomplishments and the accomplishments of the team. And there was a little bit of sadness in your voice. And then I remember, Jerry, you said, if you don't mind, I would just like to hear the cheers one more time. And you came out from behind the podium and just took it in and appreciated it. And what was super cool, I guarantee you I was the only doofus in the room that day who shared that story, let alone took the ticket to have him sign. And so when he finished signing, like, he looked up and with complete sincerity and thanked me. And thanked me for bringing back a really, really good memory in his life. And you can tell when somebody's being sincere. He wasn't BSing me. It was just like this really cool tiny little moment. And he gave me a fist bump. Like, I'm 9 years old, I'm telling you this story. And he gave me a fist bump, and he was wearing one of his Super Bowl rings. So I fist bumped him with the Super Bowl ring, and I started to take off. And he says, do you think this year's the year? And I said, man, I hope. And it was very cool. That was like a super cool moment with one of the best ever, if not the best ever, and for sure one of my very favorites. Took that over to PSA to get authenticated and graded, and I can't wait to show it to you when I get it back. But as transcendent as that moment was, as cool as it was to have that moment with Rice, what was supreme for me at the National this year was my time with my friends at the Airbnb. Had an Airbnb with Adam Kay, the lovely Barb, his wife, West Coast Jewish Chris, and Dennis, aka Denny Cards. It was awesome. I mean, it was just so fun. We went out to dinner every night and just got to get to know each other on this deeper level, like more than just friends, like just really just like kind of like brothers. Dinners, and we had this amazing rooftop deck at the Airbnb and great cozy furniture sitting up on the rooftop deck at night, up at the tree line, just chilling out. And then in the living room, opening packs of cards like we were kids again, and exchanging gifts. I want to show you a really phenomenal gift that West Coast Jewish Chris brought for me. I'm going to take it actually out of the sleeve. On the front of it says, "Amazing Willie Mays, sensational center fielder of the New York Giants." This is from his agent, Art Flynn Associates. It's a brochure if you want to hire Willie Mays, New York Giants. So this would have come sometime in the 1950s. I got to open up. I got to show this to you. Look what it says. Now available for radio, television, and guest appearances. Look at the copy. It's amazing. This is a brochure if you want to hire Willie. And we know Willie was all the time on radio and TV of, as himself. This is absolutely a stupendous artifact. This is not memorabilia. This is a piece of history. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm absolutely gonna get it mounted, right? Like matted and framed and put this baby up in the cave. I mean, man, thank you so much, Chris. You gave me a bunch of wonderful gifts, but this one is, I mean, my goodness, that is just wow. Thank you. And Adam, man, Adam is like the most incredibly generous person. Adam brought us a box of BBC Rap 1985 Fleer baseball. We opened that up on Thursday night, and then Friday before dinner, he had a box of 1984 All-Star Game, 84 Topps Master Set, 1984 Rack Packs Fash from a sealed case, and we busted that up. We were opening rack packs from 1984 that have never seen the light of day. Outrageous. And then after dinner, we went back, and what I had brought to the party was a 1986 box of Fleer baseball, 86 Fleer, also BBCE wrapped, and it was the most perfect box of cards I've ever opened in my life. Now, we didn't look through each and every card, but I am pretty darn certain that between us, there were no doubles. 36 packs, 15 cards a packs, 540 cards, no doubles. And why do I think that? Because like we did for the 85 Fleer and 84 Topps, we spread them out on the table. Each of us got 21 cards, your tier 1, tier 2, and your sweeteners. And your boys did some trades. We had trade nights at the National. Outstanding, man. It was so unbelievable. Some of these I'm about to show you were pack pulled. Some were acquired in trades. Check this out. Here is the Cecil Fielder, Corey Snyder rookie card. Unbelievable. What else? Andres Galarraga, a rookie card. Oh my God. Fleer has an amazing, their special cards, their combo card, subject matter and titles are really super. I can't believe these things don't get more love. These superstar specials. I have instant offense. You see this one? Tim Raines and Darryl Strawberry. I'm guessing that's from the 85 All-Star Game. This is one of my favorite cards from the series. Superstar special, Pete Rose holding up, looks like a special like plaque or plate or something. Pete Rose, 41-92 with the gold frame, celebrating him becoming the all-time hit king. What else? A few more I picked up, either pack pulled or these ones actually I lobbied hard for trade. So, quick question. What is the first great sports card insert set? Not combo cards, right? Not highlight cards, but insert sets. I'm going to put forth the argument that the first great insert in sports cards, 1986 Fleer All-Star Team. Look at these. Unbelievable. The red, the blue, the yellow stars. I'm showing you Cal Ripken Jr. right there. The stars behind him. Got that Star Wars looking font over the shoulder saying Fleer All-Star Team with the bat. Look at that one. Look at this. There's 4 great cards in this combo for me. And here's one of them. I don't know if there is like 10 or 12 in the insert set. I didn't do homework on this. I just know that I've always loved this card. Here's the second one. Oh, backwards. The George Brett. Look how cool George Brett is. Got a chaw in his mouth, hand on hip, other hand leaning on a bat knob. That is a phenomenal baseball card. Does anyone ever talk about this Fleer All-Star Team insert set, let alone give it the love that it deserves? No. I think it's time we change that. When I do think about those 95% of my cards being 5% of my budget, it's little things like this, right? But this is a gorgeous, beautiful with the colors and the style. Man, I can't get enough of that. Also got a couple more. We've got 5 in the box of 36 packs, which is pretty hot. Adam would not trade me the Mattingly, but that was okay because I've got the Mattingly at home. But I did acquire the Gary Carter. Very nice. And if you know me, you know I was going to let the Cobra get away. Love is a big bounce back year for the Cobra. Gets clean. I think he finishes 3rd in the MVP that season. All right, what else can I say before I say farewell? Well, I feel very clear about what matters most to me right now. What matters most to me in my family, what matters most to me as the rabbi of our congregation, and what matters to me most as a collector is I want to move slowly. I want to experience life more deeply. I don't want to always be in a rush to get on to the next things. So I've been going through some changes. Collecting, as much fun as it is behind being a husband, behind being a dad, behind being a rabbi. And it's a ton of fun. But I don't want my collection, and I certainly don't want this podcast to ever feel like work. I feel like I have a responsibility to create and do. That's not what this is. And having had some time to reflect, I decided that I'm gonna do this show just once a week going forward. I love doing it, but I don't want to feel rushed. I don't want to feel like I have to create something, This can't be work. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a content creator. I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories. It's through stories that we come to know ourselves and each other better. I'm a storyteller, and what I'm offering to you, and I so appreciate you for coming along for the ride. What I offer, I want it to be appreciated. I don't want it to be consumed and then eliminated. I'm not a content creator, and you hopefully are not consuming what I am doing here. I am telling stories. I want to keep it that way. Second, and I thought about this one for a long time, is I've decided to start welcoming guests to the Rated Rabbi Sports Card podcast. Guests for special episodes. So I'm going to keep on telling stories about sports cards and pop culture and the 1984 All-Star Game. But I want to expand what I'm doing just a little bit while staying true to my mission. So beginning in the near future, we're going to introduce special episodes that are called Season, Team, Boombox, Screen. Season, Team, Boombox, Screen. And with each one of these episodes, we're going to have on a special guest, and that guest is going to share a season sometime between 1980 and 1989. Got to keep it in the 80s. A season and a team. Could be, 86 Mets. A season, a team, a boombox, a screen. Boombox, screen, that's pop culture. Either something from music, a song, an album, or something that we would have seen. So a commercial or a TV show or a movie. Season, team, boombox, screen. They're going to bring one thing related to sports. They're going to bring one thing related to pop culture. And I'm going to bring one thing related to most likely that same team and same season. It won't be anything that's not related to. It just might be a pop culture reference. All right. Have some wonderful guests who give me a verbal commitment. So I know we're going to get the Shark on here, Adam K, West Coast Jewish Chris. Mrs. Rated Rabbis even chewing on an idea. We've got Rabbi Seth Limmer, who's a yes. Asked Iowa Dave and Matthew, 1956 Tops guy. And who knows, maybe you. If you want to be a guest, give me a note. Let me know and we'll talk it over. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Most of all, best of all, tell somebody. I want to keep doing this for a long, long time, and it is a lot more fun with you. If you are Jewish and it is your thing, wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and to everyone, everywhere, all the time. May you enjoy and may you be blessed with health and long life. So long for now.